Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of rawradianthealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today I want to talk about getting more energy on the raw food diet. I've been getting a lot of emails from people that they're having a few problems here and there with their energy levels, that they find that they've been on the raw food diet in the beginning, things are great, they feel fantastic, then a few months go by and suddenly their energy levels start to go down. And a lot of it has to do with, in the beginning, your body's finally getting all the nutrition and, like this surge of nutrition from the raw foods into the body, and so the body feels great, it's got the energy and it's doing things and everything's wonderful. And then time goes by and the energy starts dipping. And the reason that happens is because after a while, your body gets used to getting this nutrition and it finally can find a balance. But if you're not giving your body what it needs, after a while, it's going to start feeling out of balance. And pretty much with the raw food diet, there's two ways to go about doing the raw food diet. There's either the way where you're getting most of your calories from a high fruit diet and a very low fat diet, or you're going the other direction where you're getting your calories from, not from really fruits, but more from the fats, from nuts and seeds, and you're eating a high green diet. And pretty much that's kind of the direction people either go. They either go high fruit or high fats. Now, I don't really want to go into that as much as I want to go into ensuring that you're getting the proper nutrition from either the high fruits or from the high fats. And starting with the high fruits, people have a tendency to eat a lot of fruit, which is great, and at first they get a lot of energy, but then after a while what happens is that if they're not eating enough greens and enough vegetables and enough like lettuce, celery, things like that, they're not getting the greens to balance it out, they're going to be lacking minerals. They're going to get the sugar from the fruit, but their minerals are going to be quite low. And so in order to maintain good health and therefore like good energy and alertness and all that comes with the diet, you have to make sure that you have enough greens in your diet and enough vegetables to balance out the fruit sugars. Now, if you were to be going sort of like the other direction with the raw food diet and going more of like, sort of like a Hippocrates style diet, which is a high greens diet with added nuts and seeds and fats, the one thing that people don't really talk about so much is the fact that if you go somewhere like Hippocrates and do a program there, or even like the Tree of Life where you do like a very low glycemic diet, high in the greens and added nuts and seeds and fats to get the calories, these programs are also incorporating a lot of wheatgrass juice into the daily routine, okay? And I know like somewhere like Hippocrates, guests there are drinking like wheatgrass like 3 times a day. And if anyone's ever had wheatgrass before, it's very sweet. And so there's naturally occurring sugars in it. And so that's where people are getting a lot of their energy is actually from that wheatgrass juice. That, yes, they are in a very low glycemic diet, but they are getting sugars which convert into energy. And I mean, if anyone needs energy to do things, it comes from sugar before it comes from anything else. And it's the most easily accessible form of energy. And so even having a diet that's low glycemic, but if you're having a lot of wheatgrass, that will balance it out and give you that extra energy. But this is something that people don't, like on their own, they don't fit into the equation. They jump onto like, these low glycemic raw diets from using Hippocrates or the Tree of Life as an example, and they do this at home and they're following everything by having like high grains and a lot of nuts and seeds, and they have no energy because there's like little or no sugar. But if they were actually going to these programs, they'd be having a lot of wheatgrass, which brings in that sugar for the fuel. So if my suggestion for anyone that is on one of these low glycemic raw diets, to either add in the wheatgrass a few times, like starting very slow, because that stuff it's very potent. So you'd start slow with it, add it, like have it maybe once a day, and then you add more and more. That will increase your energy. And the main thing is that the sugars in the wheatgrass are balanced out by the minerals and the chlorophyll and the amino acids within that wheatgrass. So it's not like you're getting like a sugar hit, okay? It's not like eating table sugar or something like that. This is very different. But that is what helps to generate more energy within the body. Now, my suggestion though, because a lot of times people go the low glycemic direction, and what ends up happening is because they need the energy and they need the calories and they don't want to waste away into nothing, they tend to eat too much fats and too many nuts and seeds to compensate for the lack of sugar and the lack of fuel. And that's not healthy. It's not good for anyone to be eating, handfuls and handfuls and bags of nuts and seeds. It's very difficult on the body. And it's a lot of fat, which is like, after a while, fat is fat. And so one thing I suggest is that someone is in a situation like they have diabetes, they have hypoglycemia, they've got some sort of sugar issue that they cannot go near fruits, then my suggestion would be is to go on a high raw food diet, but add in some cooked grains like quinoa, cooked buckwheat, cooked brown rice, some steamed vegetables, sweet potato, yams, things like that. That not to go 100% raw where you're just eating like mounds of nuts and seeds, but instead to have a high raw diet that is full of greens, and then add in some cooked foods, some cooked vegetables and some cooked grains, and that will give you the energy you need. Because one thing I want to remind everyone is your health is about your health. It's not about the percentage of being raw and things like that, because a lot of times someone can be on a 100% raw food diet and be extremely unhealthy, whereas someone that's on a high raw food diet and eating whole grains and cooked vegetables, steamed vegetables or baked vegetables, can be doing much better than someone that's 100% raw and eating like full-on fats and full-on like processed agave and things like that. So that's one thing to take into consideration, is you want to feel good, you want to feel healthy, and you want to be at your best. So that's my little lesson for the day. And I hope that can help any of you out there that are dealing with issues with energy and getting things going again. Okay, so have a fabulous, fabulous day, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.